Welcome to this live stream from First Unitarian Church of Des Moines. Our mission is to love radically, grow ethically and spiritually, and serve justly. We invite you to visit our website at www.ucdsm.org. It's a great way to explore all that our church has to offer, from adult programs, to religious education, to social justice work, and more. But the best way to know us is to visit on a Sunday. We'd love to get to know you over a cup of coffee after the service. Speaking of which, today's service will begin shortly. So now we'll take you inside.
Mention the sign up or just the fair? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's not. Yeah, okay, we're just going to have to light the actual thing.
Hear these words from Reverend Scott Taylor. Today, we return to the shelter of each other, to arms that hold us in the midst of the storm, to voices that help us hear our own, to hearts that accept us for who we are. May we be for each other a source of safety and sending. May we offer each other both comfort and challenge. May the belonging we find here help us offer the same experience of home to others. May this time of blessing begin.
In this month of September, we explore the theme of building belonging. We ask what it means to belong, what belonging feels like, and what we must do for ourselves and one another to build belonging.
Our shared covenant declares that love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. Please join with me in the chalice lighting words from the Reverend Michelle Collins in your order of service. We light this chalice in honor of the families we build, the circles we choose, the bonds shaped by care. May this flame remind us that love is the tie that makes us kin. And now let us pass the peace. If you would prefer a little personal space, simply remain seated, and your neighbors will take the cue and leave you in peace.
Peace be with you. be with you. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
Please remain standing in spirit or body and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 34.
I may seek with greatest pride and have the gift to all inside, and have not love, my words are vain as sounding bells, and hope is gain. Though I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, but not be gained my love within, the prophet soon turns strangely thin. Come, Spirit, come, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed, by this we worship and are free.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Elizabeth, she, her, your celebrant this morning. We welcome all people who welcome all people. We welcome all genders, ethnicities, bodies, and stories. Whatever you are carrying with you, whatever you long to set down or pick up today, may you find here the love, support, and encouragement you seek. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you like, you can raise your hand so we can greet you. Okay. And now let us deepen our awareness of this. Oh, I'll just give a wave. And now let us deepen our awareness of this place and season. Our First Unitarian Church is located on land that has been home to humans for 12,000 years, starting with people of woodland culture and later the Iowa, Sieck, and Meskwaki. Centering ourselves in our place in the cosmos, the moon is waxing gibbous, and the fall equinox is in 8 days. As a pluralistic tradition, we honor our Coptic Christian siblings who celebrated the New Year on Thursday. As Unitarian Universalists, we don't have a statement of belief or creed. Instead, our community is held together in love by covenant. This means affirming and reaffirming our commitment to one another. This means we try to put love at the center of our actions. Please join me in speaking the covenant from the Unitarian Universalist Association bylaws. We covenant to support and assist one another in our ministries. We draw from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. And our next hymn is number 123.
hard.
How about now? I'll get it, I promise. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Reverend Steve Sieck. I use he, him pronouns. And I have one of my very favorite books here to read. So if there's anyone who wants to join me down here, there's plenty of space. For some reason, no one else besides Bill was in the front row here. So come on down so I don't feel alone here. This book is called Don't Hug Doug. Do we have any takers? Surely we have a few takers to come on down. No pressure. That's actually the theme of the book. All right. Hi, good morning. This book is called Don't Hug Doug. He doesn't like it. You can hug a pug. Aw. You can hug a bug, maybe. Or a slug. Ugh. But don't hug Doug. He doesn't like it. No hugs, please. You could hug a Valentine. Oh, sweet. Or a porcupine. Not recommended. Or a Frankenstein. Urgh. But don't hug Doug. He doesn't like it. Seriously, no hugs. Don't worry, Doug likes you. He just doesn't like hugs. Doug thinks hugs are too squeezy, too squashy, too squishy, too smushy. There are lots of things that Doug does like. He likes to sort his rock collection and try on his sock collection and draw with his chalk collection. And he really likes harmonica bands. Squeak! But he doesn't like hugs. So no matter how huggable he looks, no matter how much you want to, even if it's his birthday, please don't hug Doug. I'm just not a hugger. What about hello hugs? No. What about goodbye hugs? Nope. What about game-winning home run hugs? Nuh-uh. What about dropped ice cream cone hugs? Still no, but I'd like another scoop. There is only one kind of hug Doug likes. He likes a not squeezy, not squashy, not squishy, not smushy, just right bedtime hug from his mom. Is it bedtime? Are you Doug's mom? No, you are not. So don't hug Doug. Thanks, but no thanks. Can you hug these people? Doug's best friend Finn, Grandma McGinn, an identical twin, this kid? There's only one way to find out. Ask. Can I hug you? No, got a rule. Can I hug you, Grandma? Yes, I've always loved hugs, and I always will. Can I hug you? Yes. No. Can I hug you? That means yes. Can you hug Doug's pet pot-bellied pig? Ask. Hey, can we hug your pet pot-bellied pig? Yes, she loves hugs, but be gentle. She's a little scared of strangers. Some people love hugs, lots of people don't, and lots of people are somewhere in the middle. Who here likes hugs? And they have lots of different answers. So can you hug Doug? No, he doesn't like it. Oh, nay, Uggs, hey. That's big Latin. But he does like you, and he likes high fives. Doug is a master of high fives. Straight five, double five, low five, side five, spinny five, elbow five, jump five, granny five, piggy five, puppy five, Franken five. He even has a high five for you. Go ahead and ask. Hey, Doug, high five? Yes, I love high fives. The end. Thank you. You're very helpful. And now, a completely different Doug. Thank you.
And this one is just fine with hugs, thank you. Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you got no lights, the check is in the mail. Now your little angel hung the cat up by its tail. And your third fiance didn't show. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead. The morning's looking bright. Your shrink ran off to Europe, didn't even write. Now your husband wants to be a girl. You bet there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to go where people know our troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. Singing the blues when the Hawkeyes lose, it's a crisis in your life. You're on the run 'cause all your girlfriends want to meet your wife. And the dog just ate your state fair pass. There is one place at last where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where people can see our people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. You want to be where people can see people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
And we have a few spotlights, but first I want to remind you of the Community Faire coming up after the service. Please grab one of these green half sheets so that you can keep track of what's going on and we can help you connect. So we're going to invite forward Cheryl and then another Doug.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Long, and my pronouns are she and her. And if I asked you to do something that's free, takes almost no time, that will help our church, and smells absolutely amazing, I hope you'd say yes. First Unitarian is one of the most caring, thoughtful, welcoming, and active and fun churches on the planet. I might be just a little prejudiced, but too many people don't know about us. And so we're going to try an easy-peasy way to invite more people to join us. No, we're not standing on the corner with a big sign, but we have a plan. The plan is once a month, I'm asking you to pin a different flyer up in one or more coffee shops on their community billboards. So your commitment, teeny tiny. You can pin up a flyer in one coffee shop, or you can go to as many coffee shops as you want, whatever is convenient for you. Help spread the word about First UU, and have a cuppa, just for the fun of it. Meet me in the lobby after church and sign up. Thank you.
Hello, and yes, I am also Doug. Doug Opperly, he, him. And I'm here because I'm excited to share with you that the 15th season, number 15, hard to believe, of the Progressive Voices concert series will soon return to this beautiful, acoustically excellent auditorium, perfect for a listening room music experience. As always, we'll be bringing a diverse roster of singer-songwriters from across the continent and sometimes from across the sea who can engage your mind, touch your heart, and uplift your spirit. And in addition to bringing you some great musical entertainment, the net proceeds of the concerts also helps financially support the work of the church. Rather than trying to tell you more about these incredible artists myself, I'll let them speak for themselves now through some brief samples of their own music.
And the bills piled high, and the ceiling was leaking again. A dent in the car that you lent him, and you had to learn to count to 10 in a world of blurry.
I've been searching for the other side, a place I'll get to where I'm who I am, that I know what's right, and feel so definite inside that I'm not the only one.
For me, how many seasons, how many stormy skies moved in a time-lapse picture as you let the rain melt.
Won't you cut yourself some slack, pour yourself a drink, 'cause when you're feeling at your worst, you're doing better than you think.
When you feel knocked down, punched in the chest, it's hard to breathe. Well, you were so in love, you gave it your best, now it's time to leave. And now you're all alone on a tarnished throne, and you're wondering how. Stop.
A songbird with a voice full of joy, and as small as my thumb, has made a nest in my awning and sings to the rising sun. Each note.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you'll choose to unwind by spending some Saturday evenings with us for these upcoming shows. You can get some more information on all the concerts and grab your single or season tickets at the Music and Arts table today after the service and after the services for the next several Sundays. Tickets should also be available on humanitix.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl and Doug. As we deepen into our compassion for ourselves and one another, hear now these words from the Reverend Gretchen Haley. For this one moment, know only that you are loved, that you are safe and whole and loved. Know that you belong here among us, here upon this earth. In your body, however tired or broken your heart may be, whatever fear, disappointment, anger you carry, for this hour, know that you are not alone. Feel the presence of others surrounding you, breathing beside you and with you, discovering together the way our voices rise and fall together in harmony, in hope. Claim here a resilient freedom, the choice for love, for light, to live with joy and gratitude and praise as a form of resistance. Lord.
Good morning. I'm Laura Berardi, she, her, a pastoral care associate for our congregation. Sometimes we experience big changes in our lives, and we need a good listener to talk to. If you are feeling overwhelmed, lost, or alone in your grief, please call the pastoral care team. You can reach out to us at pastoralcareteam@ucdsm.org. You can also request assistance or submit a joy or sorrow through the Caring Community page on our website, or by speaking to me or any member of the pastoral care team. This week, we are holding the following joys and sorrows in the care of this community. Kelly Patterson shares that her husband and our good friend, Volker Lieberseller, will begin sometime this coming week radiation and chemotherapy inpatient at Methodist for 3 weeks. She writes many, many thanks to the pastoral care team for their ongoing support. The visits and cards from the congregation have been invaluable. And Volker adds, Danke schön. Kelly, Volker, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're here for you. This Tuesday, September 16th, marks 2 years since the passing of Michael Lauer. Grief lasts as long as love does. It lasts forever. We surround in our love and care his wife Karen, his daughter Sarah, who are part of this community, as well as his other children, Stephen, Zachary, and Melissa. May they be comforted. And finally, there is a memorial reception for Aaron Keller on September 20th at 1 p.m. in Griffin Hall. There will be refreshments and a time for sharing memories with Aaron's family. Reverend Steve is officiating this informal gathering. All are welcome. I don't have any congregational cards for you to sign this morning for these ongoing concerns, but as you heard, notes, cards, and messages from church friends mean a lot, so keep reaching out. We recognize that to live in this world means that we all experience both joy and sorrow. And so we take this next moment to share aloud or in writing the names of those you are carrying in your heart today. We light 3 candles this morning. One for the joys and sorrows shared aloud, one for those shared in writing, and one for those held silently among us. And now join me for a minute of silence as we hold it all.
Friends, I bring you boring news and exciting news. Now, the boring news is that I'm running the Des Moines Marathon on October 19th, and like all hobbies, marathons are deeply fascinating to those who do it and kind of tedious to listen to if it's not your thing. So I want to skip ahead to the exciting news. You have a part to play in this. I'm asking you to pledge $1 a mile for the Iowa Trans Mutual Aid Fund. As Doug pointed out in the song, sometimes the person you thought was your husband reveals their authentic, beautiful self to you as their wife, and you celebrate them. So I'm asking you to pledge $1 a mile. That's 26.2 miles, or $26.20. You know that the civil rights of trans and non-binary people are being stripped in Iowa, and that does not mean that we're powerless. The Iowa Trans Mutual Aid Fund supports trans people seeking medical and gender-affirming care. So I'm hoping we can get 100 donations of $26.20, or if you're feeling like 50 cents a mile, that's $13.10, or $54.40. You get the game, right? You can find these envelopes back there. There's also on Realm an easy way to donate. I'm hoping we can send them a lot of money because we are not powerless in this. Now, the work of supporting First Unitarian's mission in the world shows up in three kinds of ways financially. There's the one-time big ask capital campaign that keeps this building going for the next 50 years. There's our yearly pledges which support the actual operations of the church budget year to year to ensure that we continue to have this voice in Des Moines. And then there is, of course, these low-budget grassroots efforts like the Iowa Trans Mutual Aid Fund or the offering which we're about to take, which supports our Faith in Action partners. So we will now pass the plate because this year our Faith in Action partners include our commitments to the YMCA Supportive Housing Campus and our Refugee and Immigrant Voices in Action. In gratitude then we give, for in gratitude we receive.
Our reading today is a poem by Mary Oliver called The Journey. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice. Through the whole house began to tremble, and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do, though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible. It was already late enough, and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voice behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life that you could save.
I took 42 classes as an undergraduate, and exactly one of them was in an auditorium with hundreds of students. Most of the classes were 12 students sitting around a table arguing with the professor. But one class was so fiercely popular on our campus that hundreds of students across undergrad and all the graduate disciplines begged and borrowed and frankly bribed our way in. But to explain the popularity of this class, you have to understand a little thing about my college. When I came to the University of Chicago, the most popular t-shirt on campus said, "The University of Chicago, where fun comes to die." I want to clarify that was not just a t-shirt, it was the most popular t-shirt on campus, where fun comes to die. Let me frame it another way. Shortly before I arrived, the Princeton Review did a survey of the 300 best party schools and placed the University of Chicago at dead last, 300th. The authors, I think, argued that you cannot party at the Naval Academy and you are forbidden to party at the Oral Roberts University. You could at Chicago, you just don't. Now, as these top 10 schools were celebrating debauchery, we were celebrating scholarship and debate. We were a people who loved difficult words and difficult concepts. So here I was, a bright-eyed 18-year-old, walking into my first class, human being and citizen. And the professor starts talking about Aristotle's views of eudaimonia. And they just keep going as if we understood what that word meant. And so you could ask, "I'm sorry, professor, can you explain what that word means?" But they would just point to the giant library on campus and say, "You know, I'll bet one of the 6 million books there will tell you." Eudaimonia, noun, ancient Greek, literally good spirit. It means human flourishing, highest good. It's like the intersection of happiness and purpose. So I'd leave that class, and I'd head to a music class, and the professor would start talking about the Weltanschauung in Vienna in 1800, as if we knew what that meant. So I learned my lesson, I looked it up. Weltanschauung, German, literally, worldview, refers to like the comprehensive construct of the world and humanity's role in it. And the lesson I learned really quickly on that campus was this. The professor is not there to help me understand the subject. I'm there to learn how to understand the subject the way they do. They're not here to help me. Which is why this one class needed an auditorium to fit us. I don't even remember what it was formally called, but we called it Little Red Schoolhouse, back to basics. It was co-taught by an English professor and a professor from the Graduate School of Business, and they dropped the hammer on day one. You all don't know how to write. It's not your fault. You're drowning in bad writing, and you always have been. To demonstrate this, they put up the first sentence of our nation's Declaration of Independence, and then they asked us the question that would haunt us all term. Who is doing what in this sentence? Allow me to read it for you. I know you can't read it. That's the point. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with one another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Who is doing what in that sentence? If you ever learned how to diagram sentence, this one will bend your brain. It took that auditorium of hundreds of future scholars a long time to answer the question of who's doing what. When you, England, stop representing us, it's fair to say why we're leaving you. That's it. So we learned to lean into active tense and to suspect passive tense. You'll notice this in politicians, how they love to use active tense when they're promising, we will fight for you, but suddenly they go into passive tense when mistakes were made. So over the next few weeks, we sat in rapt attention as these professors skewered the unnecessarily complex writing that we were all slogging through in our own disciplines, writing that we had spent our young academic lives pretending we understood. And there was a sweet taste of redemption. It turns out we're not stupid. This is just bad writing. And then they turned the tables on us. You saw it coming, right? And they turned to us and they said, okay, now you write something clearly. And wouldn't you know, it turns out that's hard. I'd start a draft of the essay and I'd fill the page with all of my thoughts, but then I had to go through each sentence. Who is doing what? And I'd have to look at each paragraph. What is the central point of this paragraph? And suddenly I realized it's quite hard to clarify your thoughts. I just wanted to say whatever I was thinking and make the reader do the work of making sense of it for me. So off I went to college, after college, to teach 7th through 12th graders. And I remembered the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I remembered feeling so stupid as a student when all I wanted was help learning the material. So I helped. I tried as best I could to figure out with these young minds, what is the clearest way to explain what I'm trying to say? How can I help them sing better, learn to sight read better, pronounce other languages better, with clear and precise instruction? And over months and months, I developed a really good, clear way to explain a couple complex ideas of singing. And I'd love to say it worked. But the twist is that my clear teaching language didn't help every student, because I was operating under an assumption. I knew bad writing was bad, but I thought there might be one good way to teach singing, and the evidence is in, there isn't. There's no one way to teach anything, because it turns out we're different. We have different kinds of brains. We have different ways of learning. And the quest for the rest of my teaching life became, how can I teach in a way that is clear and helpful to many different people, that meets their different needs? And that's why the book Don't Hug Doug shows up today. Because it's normal to assume that there are some universal things. For example, hugs are a universal way of saying, I care about you. But Don't Hug Doug reminds us that's not true. Sometimes people don't like hugs. They have a back problem, and the hug actually hurts. Or they have sensory issues with touch, and hugs are overwhelming. Or they have a cold, and they don't want to give it to you. They have past trauma, and the hug activates it. In fact, there are so many reasons why it's not a universal act. And so asking if someone wants a hug is like writing clearly for the reader. And recognizing that not everyone wants a hug is a form of pluralism, recognizing our diversity. Now, Don't Hug Doug is a fantastic metaphor about pluralism and difference, but it's also literally a book about touch and consent. So while we're on the topic, I love hugs. And I will never initiate the hug. And I want to tell you why. I'm your minister. And when I initiate that hug, it's never clear to me if you're saying yes because you want that hug or because some part of your brain defers to authority. If you want the hug, I'll always reciprocate unless I have a cold or a backache, which is why you ask. Now, when I say hug, I mean like a gentle pause hug. Do you know how often people squeeze my arms? Too much. Or they rub my back, or they pinch my stomach. I've had that happen a lot. I don't like that. I didn't ask for that. No, thank you. Or I'll put it in Doug's voice. No, thank you. Because it turns out writing academic literature to be understood is hard, but asking for consent is easy. Hey, would you like a hug? It's an open-ended question, and any answer is okay. No thanks is a complete sentence that does not require follow-up. When we don't ask, we assume that what you want is what the other person wants. As in, I love knowing ancient Greek words, surely you must too. Now, writing clearly for readers is one thing, but writing clearly for public speaking is a whole another problem. There are, as you can imagine, rooms full of books about writing sermons. It's actually a whole field called homiletic. And there are rules to homiletic, rules like never use the first person, or never make more than one joke. How am I doing so far? These rules remind me of the rules that were instilled in me as a young conductor. What I'm about to say is an actual rule that was actually taught to me. Never say more than 7 words to the choir at a time, and one of those words should be in Italian. I think I understand the concern. You're trying to capture the complexity of the subject matter and you want to convey it with respect. But let me assure you, sermons, like rehearsals, start with a complex idea. A complex idea, for example, around the nature of belonging and citizenship, about what we owe one another in a community to feel that we can belong authentically, but also respect the appropriate boundaries and authenticity of others who also have a right to belong. That's a complex question, and that's the question the celebrant team framed for us for this Sunday, September 14th. It's been my experience that the complex version of the response to that question is the first draft of the sermon. That's the brain emptying its thoughts into a web of tangled ideas. The first draft asks you all to make sense of what I think I might have been trying to say. Every draft after that is me asking, who is doing what in this sentence? With each successive draft, I'm asking, can this be clearer? Can this reach more people? Because you know you write for an audience, and here the audience is 80 years old and 8 years old. It has a GED and a PhD. It donates $100,000 at a time, and it's asking me for support to cover this month's rent. It's a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, and a Socialist. It thinks in metaphors, and it's literal. So I have to cut away a lot of beloved words and clauses in order to make space for what must be said. I have to turn whatever my brain dumped out onto the paper into something that can be reformatted that might be helpful to each of you across your beautifully diverse differences. And I'm laughing because as I'm reading this, you can see sentences that I had to cut away just to get here. So the question I ask about sermons is, can you articulate what I said last week, and did you think about it at all over the week? Because those questions tell me if I helped you where you are and the journey of where you want to get to. Because it's equally possible for me to stand up here and preach about the hermeneutic of suspicion as a praxis for the liminality of racialized hegemonies. That sentence actually makes sense. Look it up in the library. Now, what does writing clearly and hugging have to do with one another at all? And how does it speak to September of building belonging? I want to suggest they're all about the platinum rule. You know the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a good rule. But sometimes people take it too literally. Hug other people because you like hugs. Use fancy words because you like fancy words. The platinum rule goes further. Do unto others as they would want done to them. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Show people affection the way they want affection. Speak to them the way they like to be spoken to. I think of it this way. In the golden rule, I, Steve Sieck, like steak, so I want to celebrate you and I buy you steak. In the platinum rule, I remember you're vegetarian. We're talking about building belonging this month, and here is the point. When we build belonging, you belong just as you are, authentically. Belonging in a UU congregation means you are loved as you are today, and you love other people exactly as they are today. And that is the complex challenge that has required 100 drafts of this sermon. How can you be authentically you and also see the authenticity of this other person? Step 1 is finding yourself authentically. As Mary Oliver so eloquently puts it, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own. And that's what belonging feels like, knowing your own voice. But there's also a piece about building belonging. And so step 2 is learning to see and hear the true voice of this other person. I don't need to take a hand poll here, but I'm wondering, in my own mind, how many of you were invited to come here by a friend? I'm guessing it's many. Someone first invited you to come here to check out First Unitarian. Someone heard your new voice emerging and said, you should check out First Unitarian. You will find a sense of belonging there. Part of building belonging is honoring someone with that no pressure, no intentional pressure, intention to check out First U. Now, I don't mean evangelizing. We're not trying to coerce and win people over to our non-creedal pluralist position. I don't know what that would look like. But I mean seeing in your friend their authentic self and saying, I think this is a place where you will be able to be exactly who you are and feel supported and encouraged in your journey. Because that's how Brene Brown thinks of it in her book, Braving the Wilderness. True belonging doesn't require you to change who you are, it requires you to be who you are. Finding a place to be who you are. We have this beautiful community fair right after the service today. I ask you to come and check out so many different ways to be who you are. As I said last week, try and find a place where you can show up for the world in a justice cause, and also find a place where you can fill your cup, where you can grow spiritually and ethically. We were onto something in that auditorium. We were onto something as we discarded the passive voice and learned to write clearly. Because on a campus dedicated to putting students through the fiery trials of academic writing, we were practicing a radical, a transgressive act of daring to write for the reader. And a little seed of empathy grows there. Let me translate that word for you, dear students. Eudaimonia is an ancient Greek word that means flourishing and purpose and highest good. And that little seed of empathy grows into an awareness that we can practice working across differences to help one another flourish. It fosters in a young teacher an awareness of diverse learning. Therefore, I should ask you if you want a hug, because I understand that you are you. And without clear communication, we make assumptions about what the other person wants. And without the platinum rule, we don't make the effort to see the authenticity of self. So I invite you into a practice this week. Practice speaking to be understood. And practice listening to understand. Practice engaging with someone attentive to what they want. Now, you may find that through this dance between thinking and acting, a feeling arises, a feeling of happiness and purpose and human flourishing. I'm delighted to tell you I know what that is. Eudaimonia. May it be so.
Please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn, November 159, This Is My Song.
Thank you.
Join me in saying the extinguishing chalice words in your order of service or on the screen. As we leave this sacred hour, may the welcome we received become the welcome we extend. Let us meet the world with open hearts, open hands, and the audacity to build spaces where every soul feels at home.
Dear ones, go forth with clarity of thought and expression that you may be understood. Go in compassion, treating others the way they want to be treated. And let understanding and compassion blend into something far more valuable than gold or platinum: love.
As this live stream from First Unitarian Church comes to an end, remember that previous live streams can be found on our YouTube channel. We'd love to see you in person someday. Until then, thanks for joining us.